David Hume quotes on success in life: "There is no such thing as freedom of choice unless there is freedom to refuse." David Hume. A wise man proportions his belief to the evidence. David Hume. Beauty in things exists in the mind which contemplates them. David Hume. When men are most sure and arrogant, they are commonly most mistaken. David Hume. Nothing is more surprising than the easiness with which the many are governed by the few. David Hume. It is seldom that liberty of any kind is lost all at once. Slavery has so frightful an aspect to men accustomed to freedom, that it must steal upon them by degrees, and must disguise itself in 1,000 shapes, in order to be received. David Hume. If God is omnipotent, omniscient and wholly good, whence evil? If God wills to prevent evil but cannot, then he is not omnipotent. If he can prevent evil but does not, then he is not good. In either case he is not God. David Hume. All knowledge degenerates into probability. David Hume. Beauty is no quality in things themselves. It exists merely in the mind which contemplates them, and each mind perceives a different beauty. David Hume. The life of man is of no greater importance to the universe than that of an oyster. David Hume. Truth springs from argument amongst friends. David Hume. To hate, to love, to think, to feel, to see, all this is nothing but to perceive. David Hume. Nothing exists without a cause, the original cause of this universe we call God. David Hume. No amount of observations of white swans can allow the inference that all swans are white, but the observation of a single black swan is sufficient to refute that conclusion. David Hume. Nothing appears more surprising to those who consider human affairs with a philosophical eye, than the easiness with which the many are governed by the few, and the implicit submission with which men resign their own sentiments and passions to those of their rulers. David Hume. The greater part of mankind may be divided into two classes, that of shallow thinkers who fall short of the truth, and that of abstruse thinkers who go beyond it. David Hume. Muhammad praises instances of treachery, inhumanity, cruelty, revenge, and bigotry that are utterly incompatible with civilized society. David Hume. It is not reason which is the guide of life, but custom. David Hume. A man acquainted with history may, in some respect, be said to have lived from the beginning of the world, and to have been making continual additions to his stock of knowledge in every century. David Hume. While we are reasoning concerning life, life is gone. David Hume. A propensity to hope and joy is real riches, one to fear and sorrow real poverty. David Hume.